When I was a little bit younger, I was absolutely terrified of speaking to my father's friends. Every time he invited me for one of his gatherings, like boomer parties, I was so shy. I wasn't even speaking, I wasn't saying even a word because I fell into the illusion that the more you have experienced, the more knowledge that you have, the more that you have achieved, the more you are, the bigger your value is. And this is the message nowadays in the traditional self improvement, where the people tell you, yes, be high value man, yes, have a lot of money, have six pack, have a lot of chicks, have a lot of success, etc., etc. That's how you build yourself up, and that's how you improve your value as a person. But there is a very big trap that a lot of people can fall into, especially something that I personally fell into. And usually, what is most personal is most universal, which means that probably you have also experienced it as well if you're on a similar path like me. This traditional self help, self improvement advice leads you to the path of always chasing to be better and better and better, and this way fixing your kind of social anxiety. But exactly this self improvement advice keeps people in these leagues. That's why, to some people, you feel like you're out of their league and therefore you cannot speak properly to them. You get nervous, you get sweaty when you speak to them. Probably it has happened to you. With some people, you have no problem speaking with because you kind of see them on your level or a little bit under. But when it comes to the people that you perceive, because it's only a perception, you perceive as they are above you start to get nervous. You start to be careful what you're saying. You cannot express yourself. You cannot express your opinions. And why is that? It is especially because of this order that you put in your head. The order that people are based on their value in the real world. And I can tell you something which is more spiritual. Maybe you haven't come to this point in your journey yet. But all of us have internal value which is infinite, which is infinite. There is no measurement. It is just perfect as it is. And it may sound very wishy-washy to you. It may sound very, like positive talk, but it is really like this. And I'll tell you one mindset that can really help you with this. This is the GTA mindset. So when you play GTA, you play as the person who is holding the joystick or on the computer, and there is the character in the game. You who is playing, the player and the character in the game are completely different things and completely different people. The character in the game, he's roaming around, stealing some cars, making some missions, fighting with the cops, robbing some banks, etc. Going through all of these experiences. But this doesn't affect the player that you are. Probably when you play this type of game, you're not affected. You're just having fun. You're just into the game. You don't get scared when the cops are chasing the character. You just experience the game. And this is how spirituality basically is described to somebody who doesn't understand it so well, like beginner explanation. You are the observer, you are the player of the game, and your character, which is you, your body, your personality, Alex, in my case, this is the character. And the character can level up so much, like in GTA, you can have all the guns, all the money, all of the cars, all the houses. But this doesn't affect in any way the player who is holding the joystick. It's such a great analogy because it shows you exactly how you can be a little bit brainwashed from the traditional self-help advice that you need to build your value first and then you're gonna stop suffering the social anxiety. But what this puts you in this race, in this competition. But you know what, guys? There is always going to be somebody who is better than you, smarter than you, more beautiful than you, more muscular, more famous. And therefore, you will not be able to speak to these people until you get to their level. That's so crazy. It's a little bit weird to hear these things, especially if you're following the traditional self-improvement advice. But the place is rather within, not on the outside. It's not to chase the success, the material things, and then you're going to feel ready and happy and able to speak with the people that you want to speak, to attract the partners or the friends that you want to attract. It kind of changed for me. Of course, I'm on the journey the same way like you guys, but it really changed for me when I shifted my mindset to this. When I realized that the friends of my father are just some people, some men that are just older than me. Yes, they can be smarter than me. Yes, they can have more experience, more money than me. But this doesn't make them better people than me. Because this is an unfair game. Because this means that you can hang out only with people that are more dumb than you, less beautiful than you, less charismatic than you, less successful than you. This makes no sense. Because the internal value that we all possess as human beings is there. Now our personal value, our accomplishments, our achievements, this is something else. Because somebody can be much better in football than you, but it doesn't make him a better person. Because by the same logic, you're better at basketball than him. Everybody has their own strengths and their own weaknesses. Even, I'm thinking on top of my head, even the friends of my father, they have more money, but I have more youth. My body is stronger, I have more energy. You cannot just compare the value of people based on these superficial things. Because there is never going to be a winner. Everybody has their strong sides and not so strong sides. But the value of every single person is on the inside. And you can find value even in the homeless person. Yes, you can also hang out. This is another trap, that you should hang out with your friends only when you speak about improving or business or development or something productive. It's not the basis of friendship. The basis of friendship is mutual giving and love and having fun. It's all crazy, and this is what self-help, something that can ruin you, that can destroy you, it can help you at the same time. You decide how you use this piece of advice. Yes, there is probably a social hierarchy. Yes, there is some kind of value, but this value is only in specific categories. But as a person, your value is untouched. Please understand this. If you cannot perform a surgery, it doesn't mean that you're not a good person. You're just not a doctor. But in the same way, the doctor cannot dunk the ball in basketball. Doesn't make him a bad person either. Doesn't make, the cardiologist worse person than the basketball player. It's a very weird thing why we put ourselves in these brackets. With these statuses and these values, who can even measure the value of a person? That's such a crazy concept. How do you know what is high value? Is it a measurement? Is it a number? 80, 90? This is something that can really cure your social anxiety. Realizing that other people are also people. Yes, they can have nicer eyes than you. They can be taller than you, but it doesn't matter. Nobody is out of your league because the leagues don't exist. If somebody thinks that they're out of your league in a way that you're lower than them, then it's their problem. It's all an ego game that you shouldn't play at all. You shouldn't base your value on anything like this. This is the things that I teach in my coaching. You can check it in the first link down in the description. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And I'll see you in the next video. Stay Tigers.